we're going to talk about how to organize your Google Drive. Why is it important to organize our drive? Well, think about it as your digital backpack. It's a place to store all of your different folders and files that you need for class. And just like your real backpack, having it organized makes it much more quick and easy for you to find the work that you need when you need it. Organization is one of the big things that helps you to be a successful student. So today we're going to learn a few tips and tricks that are going to help you keep your drive organized and help you be successful. So the first thing we're going to want to do is get to Google Drive. The best way to get there is to open up a new tab and click on your app's waffle near your picture and choose Drive. Or you might have a shortcut on your Chromebook. That would be great too. But I think it's really a great idea to bookmark Google Drive. You'll see I have my drive here bookmarked at the very top, the beginning of my bookmarks bar. That way I always know it's really easy to find. And I have a separate drive that I'm using as our example today bookmarked as well. So just go ahead and click that star and you can rename it. You can even erase the name so you just have the icon, but make sure it's really easy for you to find. Okay, your drive might look something like this. It might be in this grid view, or yours may look more like this, which is called list view. Either one is fine. It's up to you how you want to have it organized. But for today, I think having list view is a great way to show you how many things you might have in here. So you can see I have a couple of folders and 4 untitled documents. You might need to scroll really, really far down to see that maybe you have 300 documents from when you were in elementary school. So we're going to talk about how to clean those up. You might notice some folders that you don't remember creating. For example, you might have one that's called Classroom or one that's called Screencastify or maybe WeVideo. Those are folders that were created by programs that work with Google Drive, so it's best to just leave those alone. If you start to mess with the stuff that's in there, you might accidentally delete some work that you've created, so just kind of ignore those folders if you can. All right, so think back to when you were in elementary school and your teachers asked you to have a different color folder for each of your subjects. Well, we can do the same thing in Google Drive. So let's create some folders that we can use for the work that we do in each of our classes. So to do that, go up to the New button on the left side and click Folder. So you can just run through your schedule and create a folder for each of the classes where you use your Chromebook. So Literacy 7, I might have a folder. I would need a folder for my science class. Maybe I need a folder for math. A folder for global studies. And maybe this trimester I have personal development, so I need a folder for that. Okay. So now I have the folders that I need, but you can even color code them to make it easier for you to find what you need when you need it. To do that, you just need to right-click on a folder, and you'll get this menu that says Change Color. So maybe I want my personal development folder to be light green. Maybe I want my math to be red, and my literacy to be blue. And global studies maybe is brown, and then science is going to be orange. Okay, that way you can always really quickly tell which folder you need to click on. Another thing that might be really helpful if you have a lot of folders from elementary school is to create a folder that you call elementary. Okay, and that's where you can kind of tuck away all that stuff from elementary school that maybe you want to keep, you're not really sure, but you don't need to see it every day. So let's talk about how we can move some folders, some files into those folders. Google Drive makes this really easy. You can just click on one, pick it up, and drag it to drop it into a folder. But if you have a ton of things that are old, there's another way that you can select many files at one time. So let's say I want to find all of my files that are old. I can sort my list by the date last modified. So if I click this, I want to say maybe the last time it was modified by me. That means the last time I actually made changes on the file, not just opened it to see what it was. So I'm going to click that. And now all of my newest files are at the top and my oldest ones are at the bottom. So let's say these three are ones that I made in elementary school. Maybe it says it's from 2017 or 2016, so I know I don't need it anymore. I can click on the top one, hold down the Shift key, and then click on the last one in my list. So for you, that might mean scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And then you can pick up all of those documents at once and put them in your folder called Elementary. Now, let's say you still have a few files that are recent, but they might be untitled. The best thing to do would be to open those back up by double-clicking, figuring out what they are, and renaming them up here where it says Untitled Spreadsheet. That way, you actually know what your files are and you don't have 55 untitled documents. So if I've renamed this, maybe I remember that that's actually a literacy project, and so I can drag it into that folder. Now, here's the next step to help you keep organized once you have your folders all cleaned up. I like to go back to this grid view. Another really good habit to get into is instead of going to Google Docs, the website, or clicking on your apps waffle and going to Docs or Slides, instead start in Drive. So let's say that you have a paper to write for literacy class. So the best thing for you to do is going to be to start in Google Drive, click on your literacy folder, open it up, and then create your file here. So you go to New and choose Google Docs. Now your file will automatically be in the right folder and it'll be really easy for you to find later. Another good habit to get into is as soon as you open a new document, give it a name. Maybe this is the essay on the outsiders or whatever. Okay, so give it a name, and that way your work, as soon as you go back to your folder, as soon as it's saved, it's right there in your folder and you don't have to search for it. Getting into this habit is really going to be helpful for you in staying organized. As you move on to different grade levels, you might create a new folder that says 7th grade, and you might drag all of these folders that you created today into your 7th grade folder and start fresh in 8th grade. Okay, now it's your turn to take some time to organize your drive. Create a folder for each of your core classes or any classes where you might be creating files on your Chromebook, and drag your files into the right folders. And I hope from now on you will always start in Drive and create your projects from the correct folder so that you are staying organized and are ready to be successful.